On the day I decided to get a divorce, the doctor told me I was pregnant. It took me completely by surprise. My husband and I had only a contractual marriage. We'd agreed to divorce after 3 years of marriage. And today was our 3rd wedding anniversary. I called my husband to see if he was willing to accept our child, but his phone kept ringing with no answer. Just then, news about him and his ex-girlfriend came on TV. It turned out he'd gone to the airport to pick up his ex-girlfriend. Seeing this news, I was heartbroken. Over the 3 years we'd been together, I had already fallen in love with him. I slept on the sofa all night, and he never came home. A doorbell woke me up. I opened the door, and standing outside was his ex-girlfriend. She handed me a watch, saying he'd left it at her house. I recognized it as the watch my husband always wore. She tried to come inside, but I stopped her. She told me not to act like the mistress of the house, and said that my husband truly loved her. I told her, as long as I'm still his wife, I won't let you enter this door. She left in a fury. Shortly after, he came back, and I wanted to give him one last chance. I asked him why he hadn't answered the phone the day before. He said he'd had a last-minute business trip, and his phone had died, which is why he didn't answer. Hearing his lie, I was completely disappointed in him. So when he came out of the shower, I asked him for a divorce. But I never expected him to agree without hesitation. He even said he'd give me a house and $50 million as divorce compensation. I didn't take his compensation, because I just wanted to get divorced as soon as possible. He looked a little angry, because over the 3 years of our marriage, we'd gotten along very well. But we'd only gotten married to satisfy our families. At that moment, I had no idea he'd also fallen in love with me. He thought I wanted freedom, so he didn't try to stop me. Soon after, we went to file for divorce. I decided to go abroad and raise the unborn child alone. 7 years later, I returned to China with 2 children to participate in an art competition. My daughter suddenly needed to use the bathroom, so I asked my son to take her to find it. But I never expected my children to run into their biological father on the way. Looking at the 2 children's faces, he felt a strange sense of familiarity.